in our research, we felt that we needed to examine those standards as a starting point to really just establish how much they varied and what did they mean? What did we mean by evidentiary standards? And we basically looked at the literature, the legislative mandates to try to understand what the standards were, and we found that different agencies had different standards. But even if an agency had the same standard, it was often applied differently in different disease areas. So that's kind of on the user side of comparative effectiveness research. On the producer side, PCORI needs to understand how those agencies are using that information. At the same time, it doesn't necessarily follow that there would be great efficiencies to having a single standard across all agencies, because they have different responsibilities. And the costs of gathering the information vary. So what makes sense in the context of a device would not necessarily make sense in the context of a pharmaceutical, because of the underlying nature of our knowledge and uncertainty about those different kinds of medical products. The FDA is really charged with deciding if the benefits of a product outweigh the risk and whether it's worth it putting on the market. CMS is ultimately as representing, needs to make judgments about value for money. I mean, we're not doing it explicitly in this system, but certainly implicitly we have to weigh the value that we're getting for the resources that we're spending. So they're going to, by definition, have a different role in this system.
And for that reason, we shouldn't have one standard.
Yeah, and that's a reason that we should not have one standard, and we don't have one standard. So, but also it's important to recognize that's not really, PCORI is really supplying information to them and needs to understand what their standards are, but is not really to be involved in the standard setting process.